Hi, it's Ben from Willowway Nurseries in Avon, Ohio. Here today with some roses as we got down our house. Wanted to cover a little bit about degree days here to start. We're at 237 for degree days here. We haven't been building a lot from last time. If you listen to the last podcast, we were just at about 200. So we've only built about 40 degree days since the last time. And that's because we've had a lot of rain and it's been overcast and we've had cloudy, cooler nights here. So we've been getting in the upper 30s. So the degree days really have slowed down immensely. But that still, we have a few things that are going on. So at 240, ash, green and white ash are in bloom. 245, Ohio Buckeye and red buds are in full bloom. Thought that was good for Ohio here. But the red buds are looking really nice right now. The other thing is we've got a couple pests in hawthorn that are an issue. One is the adult emergence for the leaf miner at 253, and at 260 the leaf miner, and 253 is the lace bug. So those are a couple pests that we should be looking for coming out, spraying. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was leaf crumbler. I'm starting to see a little bit of leaf crumbler and also leaf roller emergence out there. The caterpillars are just getting started, and that's usually somewhere between 200 and 300, so it makes sense that we're starting to see a little bit of that out there. So if you see a leaf folded up in half and there's webbing in there, that's usually that leaf roller, sometimes leaf crumbler, where they'll pull all the leaves in and out towards the tips. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, because of the weather that we're having, one of the things that we're particularly watching for is diseases. With the disease triangle, we have hosts, we have the disease, and then we have the environment, and we need all those to work together to have a disease come up. So roses are particularly known for a couple things this time of year. Downy mildew and powdery mildew are two things that are pretty common in them. Black spot also can get started early on here. So we do weekly sprays here at the nursery on the roses, knowing that those are an issue. So we use a rotation of fungicides, and it's on a weekly program. That we keep them really nice and clean, but at where they go out and they're not on a weekly spray program, we have to watch the water. Water only in the morning so the foliage dries and doesn't stay wet overnight. On these rainy days, if you can have them someplace where they don't get water on the foliage, so inside a house we keep them under plastic this time of year as much as possible so that we delay those diseases from onset. So you can see, well, some of the things that you may want to look for on them is for powdery mildew on the leaf surface. You're going to see like a white powder, almost like a baby powder would be on there, and it will wipe off easily. Downy mildew, what you'll see in roses is on the midrib of the rose, you'll see it start to get red, kind of a brick or dark red, and it will radiate out from that midrib. Sometimes it's blotchy, sometimes it's the whole length of the leaf or the entire leaf, but it's down through the middle. That one, if you get it, you really have to stay on top of it. And obviously black spot is another one. That typically starts down in a little bit further in the foliage, and you'll see why it's named black spot is it'll have black blotches on the leaves. So those would have to be picked off or sprayed for. Once you get any of these diseases, you're really in then a management or control to not let it get onto the new foliage. So we do a lot of preventative sprays. For those three, you really have to stay on the preventative side. The other thing to be scouting for, and we're seeing this time of year, is if you look on roses in particular, up towards the buds, the flower buds, aphids tend to accumulate there in roses. So that's a good place to start scouting for those as well this time of year. Thanks, and hopefully this helped you out a little bit.